Hi friends, welcome back. Um, Today we are going to do the part 2 of the goals integration. So as you can see on the left side, we have goals, and I have in the last episode I updated the goals, have them displayed here, and then based on the values that we submitted in our update finances page, I'm able to see that we are able to get 67% goal, reach that 67% for emergency, 3% for retirement, and 6% for health. That goal we were able to achieve. And so right now I feel that I also felt that maybe we could have that integrated into the chat gpt um, chat gpt suggestion page. um, Let me see. I think maybe there are two ways we can do this. So for example, if we go to the goals page, we have the GPT suggestions, and then GPT suggestions has a function, or in the utils we have suggestion. So we'll go to the suggestions, and within the suggestion there is a prompt that we are creating, and um, we are getting the latest, we are passing the latest parameter, that is the latest submission, and putting all the related information within that, and then we are using that within our prompt and asking ChatGPT to suggest on that. So um, I want to integrate the, let's search for this, get financial advice. Where is it called? Control C. Let's see where it is called from. So I would do is this, get financial advice, and it is called in the finance form. So whenever we are doing within the suggestion, we are passing the data, and that data is the form data that we are passing for the user. So actually, and that is being considered as the latest information. uh, okay, so let's think about how we can make the change, how we can pass the goals also within it. Right now within the database, we have the goals table, and the goals table has emergency, retirement, health goals within it. So we will also want to integrate that. So let's do some vibe coding, and let me ask ChatGPT about it. So we would open the ChatGPT, our ChatGPT page. I want to include my user specific goals into user specific goals into my GPT prompt. How can I do that? Okay, so I've asked ChatGPT to do that. So let's see. GPT is telling a little slow, but we'll wait for it to come. For us to include the user specific financial goals in the GPT, store goals in Supabase, we have already done this. Yes, we have that table within Supabase now, and it has the user ID. So it is asking for the user ID, monthly saving goal, retirement saving goal, debt reduction goal, um, and then these are different, little bit different. So what it would do is get financial advice.ts within this. So let's go to suggestion.ts. Yeah, get financial advice, and here what ChatGPT is suggesting, we would query to the database, and we would get the goal for the associated user, and then we would include it within the information here. So let's see how we can we'll try to use this logic and then we'll try to implement it. So let's go back to the code. Let's go to suggestion is equal to await. Okay, so first what we would want to do is we would want to get the form data. So get financial advice, and then it is passing data and it is saving it as a suggestion. So before this I would want to add, so let me get that done. So I would want to query the database, and let's copy this part of code, copy. So what are we doing? We are pasting this save goals, and then we are our data goals, we are querying Supabase, and then we are going to the goals table, which should be present. Yeah, we have the goals table, and then within the goals table we are selecting everything and use for the user ID, and we are getting the single component there, or single row associated with that user. Now I am seeing a squiggly line here. Goal is declared but it is never used or read. So what we would do is now get financial advice, we would pass in the data, and we would also pass in the goals over here. So now I want to see expected one argument but got two. Now that is because if we go to definition, we are seeing latest any. So what we need here is within our function that calls, let's go to the GPT, and within the function that we call, we also need a comma and goals any. So let's look at this one, latest any comma goals any. So this way I would be able to remove the error message from the finance form.txt. Now this one doesn't give us an error anymore. So actually let's do that. Let's go to Command Shift P and get the terminal visible, and in the terminal we have one problem, and that is the goals one, that this one, yeah, for now it looks like a problem, but later on we'll utilize it. So now apart from that, what we need to see is we need to pass here is we should say let's look at the table and what are the goals we need to include within this: emergency goal, retirement goal, and health goal. So let me add it. So this will be emergency goal, and then we goals / emergency, and I do not need to put 0. Okay, yeah, I agree with ChatGPT here. It can be 0 because if the goals are not set by that user, then I think this makes sense. Then retirement goals is retirement, and then also the health goals will be the health one. Yeah, and then give me one very detailed short term and very detailed long term actionable item based on the information, based on the flow chart and common personal financial advice. I submitted this financial data. Okay, so I think this looks good. If the goals are not set, we will get 0. We'll put 0 for these fields. If the goals are set, then we'll get the values for the associated goals, and we'll save it over here and give this as a prompt to ChatGPT. So that will help us create the goals associated with the user. So let's go to, let's see now what I would do is let's save this. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to save it. And I was thinking how we can use this, or does ChatGPT need to have an extra line for the prompt, or do we think that should be included right now? We don't want to split it. Maybe in the future we might think about splitting it into a separate line so that our GPT suggestions page has some data apart from the one short-term advice and one long-term advice. I would want to have like how they are going through the goals. So right now let's integrated goals in GPT prompt. So let's save this or commit and sync, and once we commit it, now we can go back to our deployment, confirm that the deployment is looking good, and I don't think that the GPT changes will be visible very clearly. Number one, we are not making any changes in the output. So let's see. Actually, let me think about it. I can add also include a short summary of the progress towards each goal, like you have 50% emergency. Okay, keep it up. Okay, so I have added this part, added more advice on goals in GPT suggestion. Okay, so I am going to check commit and sync this one also. Okay, I think this can give us some idea. Now let's look at the deployment. The deployment looks good. We'll wait for 24 seconds on this one, and average is 24 seconds for us. So yeah, okay, I think we are past 24. Let's refresh and we should be good. Yeah, 25 seconds. And now we go to StingyHubby, and definitely now ChatGPT wouldn't show the latest entry. Let me do this. Let me look at the goals, set goals. Actually, we have the goal set in. Let's update some finance. So let's add certain value that we feel is good. So let me add yeah, let me add some random numbers here. I haven't looked into something. Let me submit this. So as soon as I have submitted, I should get a confirmation. Yes, I got a confirmation. Now let me look at the GPT suggestion. Now when I look at the GPT suggestion, it says about this progress towards retirement goal. You have only 3% towards your retirement goal of 3 million. So it's important to ramp up your saving efforts. By following these suggestions and staying disciplined in your finance, you can make significant progress towards your financial goals in both the short term and long term. So we have seen certain we are seeing like a few in the current balance of 90,000, a goal of thing, you have significant gap to close, starting by contributing more towards your retirement accounts. Okay, yeah, I think we are getting more. Looking at the ChatGPT suggestion, we are seeing certain sentences or advice based up on the goals that we have for the customer. So yeah, that this functionality looks good. Maybe in the future I might create a separate suggestion for retirement goals that will have a separate prompt associated with it, and then that will be saved as a separate column within our submission, and then I think displayed separately below on this page. So let me add that feedback. So feature request, separate suggestion, GPT suggestion or GPT on goals. So I would copy this. Sorry, I need to fix that one up, and then copy this, paste it here, for user. I think this is a good feature request, and let's submit this for now, and we'll look into that one in the next one. So let's look at our feedbacks till now. We had add visualization. So I think the feedback regarding visualization for current versus goals is added, and also we felt that part 2 of this work was to add a goals GPT suggestion. So we have done that in this video. So I can mark this as done, so I can delete this feature request, and we are seeing a new feature that we added just now from the UI, separate GPT suggestion on goals. So for that I feel that we need a new table, we need a new column within our table to save the goals related GPT suggestion, and then we would use, or we will update our prompts such a way that we will have a separate prompt for goals related GPT suggestion, and then we would have a separate field on the GPT page for the user to see. And then maybe we can think about when we send emails, we would also use the same GPT suggestions, and we will add it as a separate region for the for users. When they get the emails, they'll be able to see those suggestions coming in. So for now I think we are good with this feature, and thank you so much for being on this video. Hopefully you enjoy every day when we go through vibe coding and see what we can do, and then in your financial journey, save more, spend less, and live a rich life. Thank you so much for watching.